From zero to legendary coach. Dai Li's journey to sports mastery. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 30, One Good Seedling. On the track of the 100-meter sprint, 8 candidates were running wildly, and halfway through the blink of an eye. Lu Tsongyan is ahead. Li Dai let out a sigh of relief. At this time, Lu Tsongyan was in the first position and had already achieved a clear leading advantage. Lu Tsongyan, come on. The voice sounded from behind Li Dai. That was the other 7 students under Li Dai's cheering for their classmates. The track, Lu Tsongyan's speed is significantly faster than others, it can be said to be far ahead. The performance line of the second-level athletes should be relatively stable. Li Dai showed a gratifying smile on his face, and his first 15,000 yuan could be kept. At the end, a staff member responsible for timing pressed the electronic timer, and the number above stayed at 11 seconds 32, which was Lu Tsongyan's achievement. The national second-level athlete standard is 11 seconds and 50 seconds by hand. Lu Tsongyan has successfully reached the standard. But after seeing this result, Li Dai still felt a little dissatisfied. On weekdays, Lu Tsongyan's test scores were all around 11 seconds 20. In this way, the appearance of the first group still affected Lu Tsongyan's state. In the first group, Lu Tsongyan is also the only candidate who has reached the second-class athlete standard. Others' results were all within 11 seconds and 70 seconds, and several others even ran for 12 seconds. As for Wu Yukai, he ran a score of 11 seconds and 89. Wu Youcai's result today is 11 seconds 89, which is still far from 11 seconds 50. If there is an explosive halo bonus, he may be able to meet the standard. 2 months of hard training, there are still 15,000 yuan. The training fees for money are so wasted. A little sympathy flashed in Li Dai's eyes. At the same time, Li Dai was also relieved. 2 months ago, Wu Youcai's performance was better than Lu Tsongyan, but now Wu Youcai's performance is so much worse than Lu Tsongyan, which shows that the training level of the sports school coach is really not as good as Li Dai's training level. The stands at the side gathered a large number of student parents, but they were not coaches who led the team. They were not allowed to enter the examination area. They could only watch in the high stands. Wu Youcai's parents also sat there. At this time, other parents looked at Wu Youcai's parents with sympathy. Everyone knows that Wu Yukai did not pass, and the results are very general, which is too far away from the national second-level athletes. The eyes cast around her made Wu Youcai's mother feel a little ashamed. She couldn't help but refute, luck is too bad. He was arranged in the first group. If it is behind, our family Wu Yukai can definitely live. Isn't there only one person in the entire first group? Wu Youcai's mother spoke while looking at Lu Tsongyan in the distance. Huh? A sigh sounded, it was Wu Youcai's father. What's wrong with you? Wu Youcai's mother asked. Wife, the person who passed was Coach Li's student. You see, he has returned to Coach Li. The young man wearing a t-shirt is Coach Li. Wu Yukai said. Coach Li? Which Coach Li? Wu Youcai's mothers did not think of Li Dai for a while. It was Coach Li who gave our son free trial training, and later he also called us specifically, didn't you let you refuse? Wu Yukai said. Wu Youcai's mother finally remembered Li Dai, and that time of 0.77 seconds. At that time, she quite despised Li Dai, and felt that her son was talented, and met a young rookie coach who can get so much improvement. If you go to the physical training school, the effect will definitely be better. However, the results of facts prove that Wu Yukai does not have such a high talent. Especially in today's exam, Li Dai's students also passed in the first group, but Wu Yukai failed, which obviously has proved that Li Dai's training is better than the sports school. How could this happen? Wu Youcai's mother finally regretted it. The training fee of 15,000 yuan and 2 months of hard training were completely destroyed by a wrong decision by Wu Youcai's mothers at that time. I didn't expect that some people in the first group of candidates actually met the standard, and the results were very good. I don't know which high school trained them. Zhao Shouren said. This candidate looks familiar, I think of it. He is from the second middle school in the city. He also signed up for our school's 100-meter sprint training class, but he did not report it at the start of the school. Coach Zhou said next to him. I signed up, but did not come to report. I saw it was taken away by another training class. Is it the physical education teacher of the second middle school? Zhao Shouren said. It should not be. Our 100-meter sprint training class, the students of the second middle school accounted for 1/3, did not hear that the second middle school also held training courses. Coach Zhou said while watching the landing strictly. I saw that Lu Tsongyan walked to the stand on the other side of the rostrum, meeting with Li Dai and others, and Coach Zhou recognized Li Dai at a glance. Huh? Isn't that person Xiao Li? It turned out that this student was brought by Dai Li. Coach Zhou said. Although Zhao Shouren has seen Li Dai's ID photo, the difference between the ID photo and the real person has always been very large, and the distance between the two parties is relatively far, so Zhao Shouren did not recognize Li Dai at first glance, so he asked, "Do you know the coach opposite? It looks very young." His name is Li Dai. When we recruited assistant coaches in our school before, he also took the first test and was fired. I don't know what happened. Coach Zhou said. Li Dai. Zhao Shouren's eyes widened suddenly. He didn't expect to hear the name here. Li Dai, who was expelled himself, would appear here, and he also became a coach, and Li Dai's disciples were still there. The athlete took the lead in the test and became the first candidate to qualify as a second-level athlete. Li Dai's scenery was good. Zhao Shouren naturally felt unhappy, a hate poured out of Zhao Shouren's heart, but this hatred, even mixed with such a trace of weak uneasiness. The fourth group of exams, another student of Li Dai appeared. He performed better than Lu Tsongyan, and also successfully ran out of an achievement. In the subsequent sixth group, another of Li Dai's disciples also successfully met the standard. At this time, 3 of Li Dai's students had successfully met the standard. The seventh group of exams, it was Su Qingliang's turn. He has a C-level talent in the 100-meter sprint, which means that he can become a professional sprinter as long as he trains normally. Zhao Shouren's face has always been ugly, because as of the end of the sixth group of exams, Li Dai's students' compliance rate was 100%, compared with only 30% of sports school students' compliance rate. Go luck. The 3 people who played in front of them all met the standard. Zhao Shouren scolded inwardly, and then he saw Su Qingliang preparing to play. This must not be up to standard. Zhao Shouren constantly painted circles to curse Li Dai. The next coach Zhou obviously didn't pay attention to Zhao Shouren's mood, only listened to him and said, Lu Chuang in our training class is divided into the 7th group. This Lu Chuang is the top among this group of students. We ourselves during the test, he once ran within 11 seconds 6 times. In less than 11 seconds, that's very good. If Lu Chuang can still run in less than 11 seconds this time, maybe he will be selected by Coach Chen Yuejin, and the autonomous enrollment quota of the provincial sports university will be available. Zhao Shouren, his mind suddenly became active, and he has even begun to look forward to a better life as a vice principal in the future. 100 meters dash project, Yu reading www. After yuyukansha.com became a second-level athlete, if you want to continue to improve your performance, it is not enough to accumulate time alone. At this time, talent is more needed. At this time, every 0.1 second increase is a huge victory. The 11-second mark is even more of a peak for athletes. Many talented athletes will find it difficult to run within 11 seconds in their lifetime. So for athletes, if they can run into 11 seconds, it basically represents a talent worth cultivating by professional coaches. In the middle of the rostrum, a bald man with more than 50 vegetarians sat in the middle. This man was the examiner of the athlete test and Coach Chen Yuejin of the Provincial Sports University. At this time, Coach Chen Yuejin looked a little bored, and looked like he was sad. As the examiner, of course, he doesn't have to go down to the field in person. He just has to stay on the podium to control the overall situation. However, this is a pain for Chen Yuejin. He feels afraid if he continues to sit down. The bones are rusty. More importantly, after several sets of tests, Chen Yuejin did not find a decent good seedling. It was like Michelangelo squeezing a large clay pottery bowl. It looked extremely boring, but there was nothing else to see. I will definitely not come to the proctor next year. Chen Yuejin secretly said. He stared blankly at the runway, and his eyelids gradually dropped. The gunshot of the order sounded, and the athlete started to run, but Chen Yuejin's eyelids suddenly raised. Huh? Chen Yuejin's expression seemed to be a grain of gold in a pile of sand, and he stood up involuntarily. This candidate is good, finally met a good seedling. Chen Yuejin finally smiled on his face. Episode 31, within 11 seconds. The 7th group of tests began, but Zhao Shouren's mind was placed on the quota of independent admissions. Lu Chuang is one of the best students here. We should be able to impress Chen Yuejin and get the quota for independent enrollment. Zhao Shouren thought of this and could not help turning his head toward the rostrum. Chen Yuejin's baldness was more conspicuous, and Zhao Shouren found Chen Yuejin on the podium for the first time. That's Coach Chen Yuejin. Why don't you seem to be asleep? Don't sleep, you can't miss Lu Chuang's performance. Zhao Shouren could not wait to rush to the podium and give Chen Yuejin 2 slap and wake him up. But the next second, the sleepy Chen Yuejin suddenly raised his head, then stood up from the seat, staring at the runway with a surprised look. Chen Yuejin stood up. His expression looked like he had picked up the money. He must have been impressed by a candidate. It must be our Lu Chuang. Great. The quota for independent admissions is coming. I want to be a deputy principal. Zhao Shouren clenched his fists in excitement. He turned his head and looked at the runway, ready to applaud Lu Chuang. Lu Chuang, add. The word oil has not yet been shouted, but Zhao Shouren suddenly stopped the speech, because he found that it was not Lu Chuang, but another person, who was in the leading position on the track. It's not Lu Chuang, it's Li Dai's student. He is the first, how can it be so fast? Zhao Shouren recognized from the color of his clothes, and Su Qingliang, the candidate who had just cursed in the circle, was the first. It's fast. Which school is this? The speed is so fast. It can run so fast, good seedling, why haven't I seen it before? This is not the speed of a second-class athlete at all. I am afraid that this speed is the strength to participate in the official competition. The people watching the battle on the spot also had different thoughts, but their actions were unified, and they watched Su Qingliang cross the finish line. 10 seconds, 75. The referee in charge of timekeeping shouted loudly. There was an uproar immediately. Achievement within 11 seconds, this is the first result within 11 seconds today. He can run within 11 seconds, why do he come to participate in the test of second-level athletes? The result of 10 seconds and 75, although it is a hand count, is also amazing. In general, the hand count is 0.24 seconds faster than the electronic time, so even the electronic time, plus this 0.24 seconds, his score has reached 10 seconds and 99 is still a result within 11 seconds. This candidate's physical talent, if you train well, there is no problem running professional games. According to the electronic timing of 10 seconds 99, he is only 0.06 seconds away from the national first-class athletes. At this moment, Su Qingliang became the focus of the audience, and on the rostrum, Coach Jin Yuejin could not sit still. He said to the assistant next to him, "Go and transfer this candidate's information." The assistant nodded and immediately found Su Qingliang's information from the laptop. Surely it is a freshman graduate of high school. If it is not a high school sports special enrollment, it is worth cultivating. Jin Yuejin thought of this, left the rostrum, and took his assistant to the direction of Su Qingliang. Coach Jin Yuejin came down. He walked over to Li Dai. It was directed at the candidate who was just 10 seconds 75. Zhao Shouren kept paying attention to Jin Yuejin's movements when he saw Jin Yuejin walk down the chairman at the stage. His complexion has become extremely ugly. Go and inquire, what does Coach Jin Yuejin do there? Zhao Shouren immediately commanded, and the next Coach Zhou trot all the way. After a while, Coach Zhou ran back, not having gasped for rest, and first reported to Zhao Shourenhui, Director Zhao, I have inquired. The candidate who just ran for 10 seconds and 75 was called Su Qingliang. Coach Jin Yuejin asked him a few questions, like at S age, which school, how long did you train, what is the fastest speed, etc. Is that all? Zhao Shouren slightly relieved. But Coach Zhou has not finished reporting, just listened to him and then said, Coach Jin Yuejin invited Su Qingliang to participate in the interview of the Provincial Sports University's independent enrollment, and Su Qingliang also agreed. Interview for independent admissions. Zhao Shouren's expression suddenly froze. This opportunity for independent admissions interviews meant that 2 quotas for independent admissions in Zhao Yuejin's hands had been sent out. Universities' independent admissions are not civil servants. There is number 3, 1 interview admission opportunity. If it is ordinary independent admissions, it will definitely need to be tested. However, as a professional autonomous admission with strong professionalism, as long as you enter the interview, enrollment is basically stable. Zhao Shouren glared at Li Dai in the distance with resentment. If other students received the quota for independent admissions, Zhao Shouren might feel better. But Li Dai's students got the quota, which is even more, make Zhao Shouren full of anger, and nowhere to vent. 2 places, there is only 1 left now, I must get this place. If that is not the last place, novel.me, if the principal refuses to recommend me, the post of vice principal will be suspended. Thinking of this, Zhao Shouren turned and asked Coach Zhou, which of our students is the strongest? It's Wang Lei. Coach Zhou did not hesitate to achieve, Wang Lei has basically ran within 11 seconds in recent tests. I think if it is played normally today, there is absolutely no run within 11 seconds. The problem is, if you play better, you can achieve Su Qingliang's score of 10 seconds and 75. Wang Lei, in what group? Zhao Shouren then asked. The 12th group is coming soon. Coach Zhou said. In the 12th group, 3 more groups are his turn. Zhao Shouren took a deep breath and said, Lao Zhou, you go in person, take Wang Lei to do a warm-up exercise, and then emphasize the exam notes, must let him play as well as possible. Suqing Liang, you made a big profit this time, and the autonomous enrollment of the Provincial University of Physical Education, you can be regarded as a stable university. Li Dai said with a smile. Several students next to cast their envious glances at Suqing Liang. They worked hard to practice sports. In order to become a sports specialty student, they can reduce some admission scores when they enter the university, and if they can obtain the university's independent enrollment quota, it is basically equivalent to admission without a test. Too much. Moreover, the Provincial University of Physical Education is also a very good university in the province. Just listen to Li Dai and continue to say, students who have not taken the test, you should also work hard, maybe you can also get a quota for independent admissions. Especially you, Chen Haiyang, I remember you are in the 13th group, come on. Your results are the best, and you have to show your full strength by the time you take the exam. Episode 32, Big Treasure. Coach Chen Yuejin returned to the rostrum. A person next to Chen Yuejin approached and asked, Old Chen, did you want to take the 10 seconds and 75 candidates just now and want to take him to your provincial body? Go with? Chen Yuejin did not conceal, and nodded directly, I have given him a quota for independent enrollment. Quota for independent enrollment? You don't have too much province. You can get the quota for autonomous enrollment after running for more than 10 seconds. This candidate is really profitable. I said, veteran, you don't worry that he is just lucky today. Okay, maybe you see Ant play it so often, maybe you see Ant run so fast? If so, you can choose a parallel. This speaker is very familiar with Chen Yuejin, they are the same age, so they talk it's easy to let go. Pharaoh, you don't understand this. The 100-meter sprint project, people who can run within 11 seconds, have already entered the category of human quasi-limits. A human quasi-limit data is not simply supernormal. It can be done because the limits of the body are there. It is like staying in a room, no matter how high you jump, you can't exceed the height of the roof, because there is a ceiling there, the higher the ceiling, you can jump higher. So the 10 seconds and 75 results is like a high ceiling, which has proved that he has the talent to become an athlete. Chen Yuejin said, while the old king on the opposite side seemed to understand, nodded. Just listen to Chen Yuejin and then say, the coach who taught him looks like he was in his early 20s and looks like a college student, but it's really young. I heard it was still a training class. This young the coach is very lucky, and he can happen to meet a talented student. This is a rare experience for him. Yeah, one of the students was fancied by you, and also got the independent enrollment quota of the Provincial Sports University. Based on this young coach will definitely be full if he starts another training class next year. You chatted me one by one, they obviously didn't attribute Suqing Liang's achievement to Li Dai. After all, Li Dai is too young. In any field, young people are always often overlooked. In a blink of an eye, the candidates of the 12th group were admitted, and at this time, 6 of Li Dai's 8 students had already completed the test, and all 6 of them had reached the national second-class athlete standard. The 12th group of candidates who were about to take the exam did not have Li Dai as students, so Li Dai did not pay attention to the runway, but called Chen Haiyang to the front and whispered the test notes. At the other end of the stand, Zhao Shouren stared at the track, because Wang Lei, the best student in the 100-meter sprint training class of the sports school, was about to take part in the 12th group test. Wang Lei, you are the trump card of our sports school. Come on, you must be selected by Chen Yuejin. Zhao Shouren silently prayed. The gunshot of the order sounded, and 8 candidates rushed out at the same time, and Wang Lei is worthy of being the top student in the training class of the sports school. At the beginning, he rushed to the front and achieved the leading position. Far left behind. Wang Lei, good. Zhao Shouren clenched his fists again, his face flushed. Cross the line, first. Zhao Shouren took a deep breath. He knew that Wang Lei's result should be within 11 seconds, but whether he could move Chen Yuejin in the end, it is hard to say. Wang Lei's result came out, 10 seconds 84. Coach Zhou first took the lead in cheering, obviously this is a very satisfactory result. Look, another score within 11 seconds. This candidate should be the training class of the sports school, the people of the city sports school are applauding there. It seems that the coach of the sports school also has 2 brushes, and can also teach a candidate within 11 seconds. The 10 seconds and 75 seconds ago, I heard that I got a quota for autonomous enrollment of a provincial sports university, or Coach Chen Yuejin personally gave it. I don't know if this 10 seconds 84, can I enter the coach's eyes? While discussing, everyone looked at Chen Yuejin on the podium. On the rostrum, Chen Yuejin also noticed this 10-second 84 result. 10 seconds 84? Another candidate who ran into 11 seconds transferred me this candidate's information. Chen Yuejin said. The assistant next to him immediately retrieved Wang Lei's information from the laptop. Chen Yuejin also nodded with satisfaction after reading it. The graduating high school graduates can run for 10 seconds and 84, which is considered a material. Chen Yuejin thought for a few seconds and stood up again. Why? Lao Chen, this fancy candidate again? This one is slower than the one just now, can this also get into your eyes? The Lao Wang next to him suddenly asked. Hey, I am also a clever woman who can't cook without rice. Some of the top-notch good seedlings in high school these years have been attracted by universities in big cities, and I can't miss it if I can meet it. Chen Yuejin said, to the chairman walked off stage. 10 seconds 84? This result is quite good. Although his performance is not as good as Su Qingliang, but in terms of talent, he may be stronger than Su Qingliang. It is probably the same as Chen Haiyang. It is also a C+ talent. Unfortunately, the distance is too far, his talent cannot be detected. If this candidate also has the bonus of explosive aura, his score will definitely exceed Su Qingliang. Li Dai sighed secretly. Li Daizhao has discovered that with the improvement of the athlete's own level, the effect of explosive aura gradually weakens. For example, when the 100-meter score is 13 seconds, the explosive aura can bring a speed increase of 0.6 seconds, and when it is within 11 seconds, the speed boost brought by the explosive aura is less than 0.2 seconds. According to Li Dai's estimate, Yu reads www.yuukansha.com waited within 10 seconds, the speed of explosive aura may be less than 0.1 seconds. After all, in the 100-meter sprint, explosive power is only one of the necessary conditions. The higher the level of athletes, the closer the explosive power level is, and the lower the explosive power aura can increase the speed. However, for performances within 10 seconds, the athlete's level will be calculated in units of 0.01 seconds, and a 0.1 second increase is already an astronomical figure. Coach Chen Yuejin has come down, he is here for us. Zhao Shouren suddenly felt his heartbeat started to accelerate. He knew that Chen Yuejin's arrival meant that Wang Lei was very likely to win the second place for independent enrollment, and the position of vice principal also began to beckon him. Zhao Shouren immediately stood up from the stand, quickly adjusted his entire outfit, and was ready to personally meet Coach Chen Yuejin. At the same time, the gunshot of the order sounded, the candidates of the 13th group started the test, and Chen Haiyang was in this group. By the track, Chen Yu progressed steadily and walked in the direction of Zhao Shouren. On the track, Chen Haiyang drove his horse and rushed forward. After 11 seconds, Chen Yuejin was less than 5 meters away from Zhao Shouren, and Zhao Shouren could already clearly see Chen Yuejin's face. In the same 11 seconds, Chen Haiyang was far ahead, and the first one without suspense crossed the finish line. Zhao Shouren's face was full of smiles, stepped up to meet him, and took the initiative to reach out his right hand, said at the same time, Coach Chen, hello, I am Zhao of Yuzhou Sports School. Zhao Shouren's words were not finished yet, but Chen Yuejin suddenly stopped, and looked straight at Chen Haiyang, who had just crossed the finish line, with a trace of horror in his eyes, as if he had discovered a big treasure. Episode 33, Level 1 Athlete Strength. Chen Yuejin, as a first-rate sprint coach, is still very sensitive to speed. He can feel Chen Haiyang's speed very fast just by glancing at it. The results of this group of candidates will come out soon. The first place is 10 seconds 64. 10 seconds 64? I read right, 10 seconds 64. How can I run so fast? Manual timing is 0.24 seconds faster than electronic timing. If the result of 10 seconds 64 plus 0.24 seconds is 10 seconds 88, this is enough to meet the standards of national first-class athletes. The 100-meter sprint national first-class athletes' performance line is 10 seconds 93 electronically timed. This performance has indeed exceeded the national first-class athletes' performance line. What are you doing? Athletes with such a high level, don't go to the competition, go to the test of the second-level athletes to join in the excitement. Come to brush the sense of presence. I have been a sports teacher for decades, and I saw this for the first time. Obviously I have the level of a first-level athlete, but I came to take the test of a second-level athlete. What did this candidate do a few years ago? There was a lot of discussion, and the object of everyone's discussion was naturally Chen Haiyang. He just ran out of 10 seconds and 64. This is a manual timekeeping result. If it is converted to electronic timekeeping according to the convention, it needs to add 0.24 seconds, so the manual calculation result of 10 seconds 64 can be regarded as the electronic timekeeping result of 10 seconds 88. The national first-level athletes in the 100-meter track and field sprint reached the standard of 10 seconds and 93. From the point of view of performance, Chen Haiyang has reached the level of national first-class athletes. But Chen Haiyang did not get the qualification certificate of the first-class athlete. Starting from national-level athletes, including higher-level national-level sports athletes and international-level sports athletes, they are not tested by tests, but only need to run out of results in national competitions. For example, the first-level athletes in the 100-meter sprint meet the standard of 10 seconds 93 with electronic timing. Athletes must be awarded more than 10 seconds 93 in the national competition before they can be awarded the national first-class athletes. The official game must use an electronic timer, so from the first-level athletes, the results are determined by electronic timing. Competition and exams are completely different. Athletes will be nervous and will perform abnormally when they participate in the competition. Perhaps 70% or 80% of their strengths cannot be exerted. Even if the strength is enough, sometimes it depends on luck and chance to become a first-class athlete. Therefore, high-level athletes will have the opportunity to go to college without a test. Although Chen Haiyang's achievements can be regarded as exceeding the first-class athlete's target of 0.05 seconds, he is still far from the national first-class athlete. He still needs more training and needs to accumulate more actual combat experience, and perhaps many setbacks, is the chance to become a true national athlete. And a 10-second 64 hand calculation score is enough to prove that Chen Haiyang is talented in the 100-meter sprint event, and it is enough to impress coach Chen Yuejin. Chen Haiyang's 10-second 64 is only 0.11 seconds faster than Su Qingliang's 10-second 75, but when the athletes reach this level, the difference of 0.11 seconds can already be regarded as two grades of players. Compared with that, Wang Lei's 10 seconds and 84 are worthless. Chen Yuejin had indeed come to Wang Lei, intending to give him a quota for independent enrollment, but the sudden appearance of Chen Haiyang apparently terminated Chen Yuejin's plan. One was 10 seconds 64, and the other was 10 seconds 84, as long as the count everyone knows how to choose. Without saying a word, he turned his head away and ignored Zhao Shouren at all. How did Coach Chen go? Zhao Shouren's face was embarrassed. His right hand stretched out was still hanging in the air, but Chen Yuejin had already gone. At this moment, the crowd's exclamation came into Zhao Shouren's ears. Only then did he know that a candidate ran for 10 seconds and 64. Who ran for 10 seconds and 64? Where did he come from? Zhao Shouren looked very panicked. He also knew that 10 seconds 64 and 10 seconds 84 were not comparable, so he could only hope for that the candidate who ran out of 10 seconds and 64 was not a freshman graduate of Senior 3. So that he could get back the quota for independent admissions. I seem to have seen this candidate before. I also signed up for our 100-meter sprint training class, but the day of the report did not come. Coach Zhou's voice sounded just right, and the slightest luck in Zhao Shouren's heart disappeared instantly. Trace. Coach, I have crossed the line. Chen Haiyang ran to Li Dai in excitement. However, Li Dai's eyes stayed behind Chen Haiyang, only to see Coach Chen Yuejin hurriedly came over. It is Coach Chen Yuejin from the provincial sports school, and he is here again. Just now, Su Qingliang ran a 10-second 75, and he was able to get a quota for independent enrollment. Now Chen Haiyang ran 10 seconds 64. He will definitely give Chen Haiyang a provincial university's autonomous enrollment quota. Li Dai thought of this, with a smile on his face, greeted him personally, and said, Coach Chen, hello, we didn't expect to meet so soon. It's you? What's your name? What's the name? Chen Yuejin dragged a long note. Although the two had just met a while ago, Chen Yuejin didn't remember Li Dai's name at all. Li Dai. My name is Li Dai. Li Dai was not dissatisfied, but immediately reported his name. Yes, think of it, Li Dai. Chen Yuejin said, looked at Chen Haiyang next to him, and then asked, this 10-second 64 is also your student? Yes, also my student. His name is Chen Haiyang, and he is also a freshman in high school. Li Dai said to push Chen Haiyang to the front, and then said, Chen Haiyang is very talented in the 100-meter sprint, and usually the training is also very hard. Among my students, Chen Haiyang's performance is the best. Li Dai is naturally vigorously complimenting Chen Haiyang to novel.me. It is highly recommended in the discourse, and he didn't even openly ask for the quota of independent admissions. Chen Yuejin at this time was not in a hurry to give the quota of independent enrollment, but instead he had some interest in Li Dai. Of all the candidates today, the two with the best grades are Li Dai's students. If there is only one Su Qingliang, it can also be regarded as that Li Dai blind cat has met the dead mouse, but with the addition of a Chen Haiyang, it cannot be simply explained by the word coincidence. Intuition developed by many years of work experience tells Chen Yuejin that the young man in front of him may be very unusual. Chen Yuejin looked behind Li Dai and asked, Li Dai, how many students did you bring this time to take the test? 8. I also mentioned to you before that I did it by myself and did a training class. These 8 students were trained by me personally and followed me for 2 months. Li Dai said. Chen Yuejin nodded, then asked, how many second-level athletes have met the standard? 7, Li Dai answered without thinking. 8 of the 8 students can meet the standard in the test of the second-level athletes. The high compliance rate is too exaggerated. Is there such a high-level coach in this small place in Yuzhou? Maybe I was too small before looking at this young man, maybe this young man really has 2 brushes in training. Chen Yuejin thought to himself. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded from a distance, Coach, I have passed too. This is Li Dai's last student to take the test. He took the test in the 14th group. Li Dai showed a relieved smile on his face. He said to Chen Yuejin, Coach Chen, now my 8 students have all met the standard. Episode 34, New Job Offer. Did you just say 7? How did it become 8? Chen Yuejin stunned for a moment, and then immediately understood that the reason why Li Dai said that 7 students met the standard was because 7 students took the exam, and now the 8th student has finished his candidate, and has also reached the standard. All 8 students have reached the level of national second-class athletes, and there are 2 students running within 11 seconds. Even if I switch to me for training, they may not be able to achieve such good results. Chen Yuejin fell, taking a breath, a strange light appeared in his eyes. 100% pass rate of second-level athletes. If there are only 2 or 3 students, it can be explained by luck and coincidence, but now there are 8 students. This is definitely not a coincidence. I really look away. Su Qingliang and Chen Ocean is indeed a good seed, but this young coach is the one who really has the ability. Chen Yuejin knows that a good coach is more rare than a good athlete, and a good coach has the ability to turn decay into magic. The so-called maxima often exists, and bowl is hard to find. This is the reason. At this time, Chen Yuejin could not help but have a heart of love. Thinking about this, Chen Yuejin asked, Li Dai, how old are you this year and how long have you been working as a coach? Just after the 22nd birthday, I didn't have a long time as a coach. I just graduated from college in the summer. Before that, I also took a sports counseling class for high school entrance examinations. Li Dai said. Just graduated from college? Are you studying physical education, dynamic training, or sports human science? Chen Yuejin asked, and the 3 majors he said were all related to physical training. I learned sports training. Li Dai replied. Chen Yuejin nodded again, and then asked, what other work do you usually do besides understanding the training courses? Mentioning work, Li Dai suddenly seemed a little embarrassed. Although he has made a lot of money in the past few months, he is still an unemployed nomad. Li Dai hesitated and said, I haven't found a job yet. Then are you interested in coming to the Provincial University of Physical Education as my assistant coach? This year I have expanded my enrollment, and I just miss a teaching assistant. Although the assistant coach is hired and there is no formal teacher establishment, the treatment is still good. In addition to the basic salary, there are performance salary and additional training subsidies, which are the same as the regular employees. Chen Yuejin said. Li Daidang was very surprised. He had intended to try his luck in the talent market after the training class and find a job like a gym coach. But he did not expect that the position of an assistant coach of a provincial sports university was so out of thin air. Down, fell on his head. For Li Dai, the only problem with going to the provincial sports university as an assistant coach is to leave his hometown of Yuzhou and go to the provincial capital Chongqing. However, at the provincial sports university, he can train many outstanding athletes, which is what Li Dai expects most. Things. He now needs experience to upgrade the coaching system. So Li Dai did not hesitate, nodded directly and agreed, thank you Coach Chen, I will definitely go. Zhao Shoren felt that he had never been so unlucky. Coach Chen Yuejin had already come to himself, but turned his head away, and instantly broke Zhao Shoren's hope. Fortunately, Zhao Shoren had no hypertension or heart disease, otherwise this kind of ups and downs he must be admitted to the hospital with a stimulating sensation. Li Dai, this is Li Dai again, and he broke my good thing again. I didn't get the quota of independent enrollment in sports university. How should I explain to President Liu after I return? President Liu must be very dissatisfied with this. It seems that I recommended by the vice principal of, I am afraid that it is a little dangling. Zhao Shoren's heart was extremely resentful, and he never thought that the temporary worker who was fired by him in a sentence 2 months ago even let him eat after 2 months. Such a big loss. Zhao Shoren's heart was gradually shrouded in the shadow of regret. He realized that if Li Dai was not expelled, there would be no such situation today. Perhaps the 2 places for independent enrollment will be owned by the sports school. Slap. Zhao Shoren gave himself a mouth violently. I'm so guilty, why don't you have to fire Li Dai? Near, the physical education teachers responsible for leading the high schools also started discussions. What is that young man over there? Today the two best results are his students, and there is a 10 seconds 64, you can go to participate in the official competition. It doesn't look like a high school physical education teacher. I know most of our physical education teachers in Yuzhou High School, but I have never seen him. Is it from the county below? No. The candidates from the county below are all coming as coaches. Which county can't have dozens of people? There are only 7 or 8 people there. It must not be from the county. I have just inquired that the young coach named Li Dai is still a college student, and he started a training course himself. The 8 students he brought all passed the performance line of the second-level athletes. The pass rate is 100%. 8 of the students are fresh senior high school graduates, and all are enrolled in general enrollment, none of which are high school sports enrollment. All 8 people have passed? So powerful? What is the sacredness of this young man? It is the professional coach of the sports school and the municipal sports team. Yu reading www.yuyukansha.com may not have this level. Isn't it? I heard that before that, the sports school also claimed that they can also train college students, saying that their 100-meter sprint training class can get the autonomous enrollment quota of the provincial sports university. This is a joke. The 2 places for independent admissions were all taken away by the young coach. In this way, the sports school is just like that. It's better to be a coach who came out and started a training class by myself. When I go back, I have to report to our headmaster. It is not necessary to cooperate with the sports school to train sports students. These high school physical education teachers and sports schools are originally out of competition, so naturally there is nothing good to say. Not far away, Sun Dabing, the assistant coach of the sports school, heard someone saying that the sports school was not, some could not help it. He stepped forward and said, Li Dai also went out of our sports school. Oh, boy, don't talk nonsense if you don't know. Others are serious college students. Isn't your sports school a secondary school? You can't graduate from a secondary school. Said one. Li Dai is not a student of our sports school. He used to be an assistant coach of our sports school like me before. Sun Dabing said hurriedly. Then why is he out of sports school now? Someone asked with interest. Li Dai was expelled. Sun Dabing's voice suddenly lost confidence. Expulsion? Your sports school is really talented. Such a powerful coach was expelled. This Li Dai's business ability is so strong, I think it must have offended what kind of talent was fired. A group of high school physical education teachers are idle, and they start all kinds of gossip again. And Li Dai's name is also spreading around. Episode 35, 3-Stream Coach Advanced Stage. Sports School, Principal's Office. Principal LV's face was very gloomy, obviously he was very dissatisfied with the test results of the second-level athletes. 40% of the students in the training class of the sports school have passed the test of the national second-level athletes. By comparison, the passing rate of the sports specialty students trained in the general high school is only 30%. From this point of view, the training level of the sports school it is still higher than the average high school. However, this above can only act on statistics. In practice, it does not make much sense to increase the pass rate by 10%. In Yuzhou City, there are about 1,000 senior high school graduates, among which there are only about 30 or 40 specialty students in sports. Therefore, to improve the passing rate of 10%, actually only increased by 3 or 4 people. Compared with the huge base of 1,000 people, it is really too small. No high school will count on 3 or 4 students to improve its college admission rate. So the key is not more than 10% pass rate, but the autonomous enrollment of those 2 provincial sports universities. The self-enrollment of sports candidates is basically equal to exemption from admission, which brings much higher publicity effect to the sports school than the passing rate of the 10% second-level athletes. It is indeed too good for a college student who has been trained to be exempt from entrance exams, so obtaining the quota for independent enrollment is also an image project for the sports school, and can even be regarded as an achievement of President Liu. After all, President Liu just took office for 2 years, and he needs this kind of political achievement very much. According to President Liu's original plan, at least 2 places for independent enrollment, the sports school training class will get at least 1, and even both will be handed. But the reality is that a quota has not been obtained, and the sports school particles have not been collected. This also meant that President Liu's much-needed achievements project flew away. With a sense of frustration, President LV specifically inquired about who took the places for the 2 independent admissions, and the answer he got was very embarrassing to President LV. The 2 independent enrollment places were taken away by the same coach's disciple, and the coach was once an assistant coach recruited by the sports school, but was dismissed by the sports school. If Li Dai resigned himself, President Liu may also comfort himself. The temple of the sports school is too small to raise a big bodhisattva, but Li Dai was expelled from the sports school, which is equal to the sports school. Created a strong enemy for himself, lifted a stone and smashed his foot. Principal Liu was very upset. He immediately called personnel branch to the office to ask for detailed information. When faced with the anger of Headmaster Liu, the head of the personnel section froze and looked aggrieved. Principal, it was really not my idea to expel Li Dai from the beginning. The head of personnel explained. Not your idea? You are the chief of personnel section, not who else do you have? President Liu's tone became more serious. The head of the personnel department hesitated, and he found that President Liu was already on the verge of anger, so he had to push Zhao Shouren out. It is the director of the training department who is going to expel Li Dai. He said that Li Dai is a college student and put it in our body school training is a waste of resources, so he was expelled. Principal Liu's eyes flashed coldly, and this excuse deceived the child would not believe that Principal Liu could already guess that there was a personal grievance between Zhao Shouren and Li Dai, and Zhao Shouren was making a private enmity in the communiqué. Principal Liu can tolerate the private enmity of Zhao Shouren's communiqué, but Principal Liu can't tolerate it. Zhao Shouren damages the interests of the school, and he cannot tolerate Zhao Shouren ruining his achievements. I saw President Liu's complexion, and said, "You are the head of the personnel department. You should be in charge of personnel matters. If you need to, you can report directly to me without listening to other people's blind command." Principal, we are not always in the school, saying that Director Zhao will take over the position of the retired old vice principal, so Director Zhao made a speech, and I am not good to refuse it. The blame was placed on Zhao Shouren. Succeed the vice principal? Humph. Principal Liu snorted coldly, but did not answer any more. The head of the personnel department across the neck shrank and lost the support of the big leader. Zhao Shouren's succession as vice president was really going to be yellow. At this time, Li Dai had already boarded the train to Qingqing. Several students such as Chen Haiyang and Su Qingliang are still on Li Dai's training list, but Li Dai's training that these students have left should be automatically cleared from the training list by the system, and at that time, they will also be unable to enjoy the bonus of explosive aura. But Li Dai didn't care about it. The purpose of the students' participation in the training class was to obtain the qualification certificate of the national second-class athletes. Now all 8 students have obtained the qualification certificates, and Li Dai has successfully completed the task. Li Dai is collecting money, he can't expect to pay 15,000 yuan, and he can use the explosive aura of his life. If you are not a professional athlete, it is useless to have this explosive aura effect. The purpose of sports specialty students is still for college entrance examination, not really to be a professional athlete. The qualification certificate of second-level athletes is just a certificate that can help students to open up the path of sports specialty students. When the university sports specialty students test, not only the first place is accepted, but there is a score line, a few more than the score line, as to whether it exceeds 1 point, or exceeds 100 points, the result is the same. And Li Dai believes that even with the explosive aura, his students can pass the scores of the sports specialty. Chen Haiyang and Su Qingliang, their talents are C+ and C, and they have the possibility to become professional athletes. But wanting to become a qualified professional athlete depends on one's own efforts, relying on a lot of training, not a halo. In fact, from the day the examination for the second-level athletes ended, Li Dai had already put down these 8 students and relieved him of the responsibility of the coach. Perhaps for both of them, each other is just a passerby in their lives, whether they can meet again in the future. Qingqing is not only a provincial capital, but also a port city. The advantages of resources make Qingqing's economy very developed. It is also among the top second-tier cities in China, and it can even be considered a quasi-first-tier city. As a relatively large city, the sports industry is also very developed. In terms of physical education resources, in addition to sports universities and sports schools, Qingqing also has specialized table tennis schools and basketball schools, as well as a few professional football training schools nationwide. In terms of commercial sports, Qingqing has its own professional basketball team, which can play the domestic A-level league. There are also 2 professional football teams, which participate in the domestic Super League and the first-class league respectively. Such a city is obviously more suitable for the development of coaches, but for young people like Li Dai who are not yet famous, what he needs most is to accumulate experience. 1 month later, Li Dai passed the trial at the Provincial University of Physical Education and was awarded a 1-year employment contract. The consumption in Qingqing is much higher than in Yuzhou. Novel.me, the income is also higher than in Yuzhou. However, Li Daiping does not usually go out of school and eats in the school canteen. Compared with outside, the restaurant in the university canteen is relatively cheap. In terms of accommodation, Li Dai simply lived in the graduate dormitory of the sports university as an assistant coach and was still employed. Of course, he is not eligible to enjoy the single-room dormitory assigned by the sports university to single teachers, but the graduate dormitory for 4 people, the conditions are much better than ordinary college students. Li Dai just walked out of the university for a few months, but at this time he seems to have returned to the age of going to college. The accommodation, the dining hall, the class every day, and playing games in the dormitory after school. As an assistant coach, Li Dai's job is actually very simple. Coach Chinua Jin will arrange every week's training plan in advance, and then an assistant coach like Li Dai will implement it in detail. In addition, it will like to stretch athletes and help athletes do strength training and so on are also the work of assistant coaches. As for Coach Chinua Jin, no one can see so many athletes, but only occasionally provides key guidance. Li Dai has a coaching system, and the training effect is naturally much better than that of several other assistant coaches. Over time, he has also been recognized by Chinua Jin. Chinua Jin is also willing to hand over more training tasks to Li Dai. And Li Dai is not much involved in training. In the provincial sports university, many of the objects he trains are real professional athletes. The experience value that training professional athletes can bring to Li Dai is better than that of training high school. There are too many students, and Li Dai's experience is also growing rapidly. After just over 3 months, Li Dai has accumulated enough 3,000 experience points for upgrading. Li Dai finally upgraded to the advanced stage of the third-rate coach. Episode 36, Chicken Ribs. Now I am an advanced third-rate coach, and I can upgrade to become a second-class coach. Although it takes 5,000 experience points to advance to the next level, it is not out of reach. It is estimated that at this speed, half a year, I can upgrade to become a second-level coach. Li Dai holding the phone, constantly flipping through the calendar, counting the days. Half a year is not enough. The sound of the system sounded at this time. Li Dai poured a pot of cold water immediately, and only listened to the system and then said, "It is now December, and the winter vacation is about to take place. The school starts only in the second half of the month, but it will be summer vacation in July, so at this rate, you will not have enough experience to be promoted as a second-rate coach until October next year." Winter vacation, summer vacation, how do I forget this? Wouldn't it have to wait for 10 months? It seems that when I am on summer vacation, I will start a training class again. Li Dai said. You are now in the advanced stage of a third-rate coach, training ordinary people, and the added experience is very limited. After you upgrade to a second-rate coach, training ordinary people may not get any experience. The system paused, then said, but correspondingly, the training effect will also be improved. The same is true, I can feel that my current training effect is much stronger than other assistant coaches. Li Dai said. When you upgrade to a second-class coach, the training effect will be more greatly improved, and it can even be said that there are earth-shaking changes. The system added. Second-rate coach, that's about 10 months later. Forget it, don't mention these annoying things, and give me my upgrade rewards quickly, let me see what is good this time. Li Dai thought in one move. The gift package obtained by the third-rate coach at the advanced stage was already placed in front of Li Dai. Li Dai opened the gift bag and saw an antique book, which was shining with golden light before him. A book that glows? No, is it a secret? What will it be? I Ching Jing? Jiryang Divine Power? If it comes to the palm of the hand? Isn't it a sunflower collection? I'm not in the palace. Li Dai said, picked up this in this book, I saw 3 big words written on it, weight loss exercise. Weight loss exercise? Li Dai immediately turned over the book, all of which were full of pictures. The picture is a small person doing movements, which looks more like a schematic diagram of radio gymnastics. What is this? What is it for? Li Dai asked. This is a weight loss exercise. Of course, it is for weight loss. Follow the above actions one by one, and complete a complete set of actions to lose weight. And the effect of weight loss is very good. Using this set of weight loss exercises can be described as a day, see thinness in 3 days, and make a big difference in 10 days. Said the system. Stool. Li Dai laughed inwardly, and then asked, I'm not fat, I don't need to lose weight at all, what is this for? It's not for you, it's for your trainee. But you have to bring your trainee personally to complete this set of movements, to have a weight loss effect. If your trainee leave you behind, if you do it yourself, even if you complete the same action, there is no effect to lose weight. The system explained. Meaning that I stood in front of the demonstration, and others followed me to do weight loss exercises, just like doing radio gymnastics in school, there is a leader in the front? Li Dai asked. Your understanding is correct, you are the leader, but the effect of weight loss exercises is not applicable to you, so you will not lose weight if you do it many times. The system said. Is there a limit on the number of people? How many people can I take with me to do weight loss exercises? Li Dai then asked. There is no limit on the number of people, as long as they are in your training list and follow you to do weight loss exercises, you can enjoy the effect of weight loss. The system said. Li Dai's face suddenly rejoiced, I've made it. I'm really rich this time. I shouldn't come to sports university. I should open a gym. Now there are so many people who want to lose weight. Slimming exercises, I also made a profit. The ideal is very full, but the reality is very skinny, and your idea is impossible to achieve. The system then said, this weight loss exercise has a prerequisite for use that is only effective for athletes. If it is an ordinary person, weight loss exercise is not any effect. Only effective for athletes. Such a pitman. Li Dai suddenly felt frustrated, and his dream of making a fortune in the gym was broken once again. How many domestic athletes are there? People like Chen Haiyang with C+ level talents, after more than a month of training, are only able to reach the level of amateur athletes. It is almost impossible for ordinary people to reach the level of professional athletes. Chicken ribs, this weight loss exercise looks very high, Yu reading www.yuyukansha.com, but it can't be used by ordinary people. In fact, it is a chicken rib. I used to think that the detector upgrade kit can still detect a talent. Yes, now give me this weight loss exercise, but it can only be used by athletes. Li Dai's bitter face, waiting for 3 months, looking forward to 3 months, finally upgraded, but only changed such a thing, suddenly let Li Dai have a feeling of suffering. In a blink of an eye, another month passed and the university entered the stage of winter vacation. The school suddenly seemed empty, and there were even fewer stalls in the cafeteria. Li Dai did not leave the school with the students. He was placed on duty for a month. Even if he counted the time, he would have to spend time in the school. Who made Li Dai a newcomer? In government agencies and institutions, newcomers are destined to work harder. The good days of drinking tea and reading newspapers are all treatments that can be enjoyed by veterans who have been mixing for many years. Therefore, such chores as holiday duty will naturally fall into the hands of newcomers such as Li Dai. Duty work is actually very boring. When the students have gone home, there will be nothing in the school. The so-called duty is more about spending time on the phone. Fortunately, there are 100 yuan a day on duty during the duty, which makes Li Dai feel a lot of balance in his heart. Li Daidang also enjoys leisure. He fully charges his mobile phone and 2 charging treasures every night, and can spend a day by rubbing Wi-Fi the next day, go to the starting point to subscribe to a few episodes of online novels, brush the circle of friends, and play a few games. He even opened a member of Tencent Video and watched TV series when he was bored. This kind of life is quite pleasant, and it seems that this kind of life is also very good. Li Dakington took a breath and looked at the wall clock on the wall. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's time to get off work. Episode 37, Haunted Training Room. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's time to get off work. Li Dai looked at the wall clock on the wall, stood up and stretched, then packed his things and prepared to leave. Ding ling ling ling. The phone's voice happened to ring at this time. Li Dai frowned, and a sense of boredom rose in his heart. It was almost time to get off work, but something happened suddenly. Anyone who encountered it would feel a little depressed. Hey, hello, I'm on duty. Li Dai answered the phone. Xiao Li, isn't it? I'm an old Zhang from the General Affairs Department. I see it on the duty watch. Today is your duty. The other end of the phone said. Teacher Zhang, hello, this is Li Dai, are you okay? Li Dai has heard the other party's voice, speaking to a teacher surnamed Zhang from the General Affairs Department. Li Dai often receives some training from him in the daytime. Used equipment. This is the case. The old money food in the training room on the 3rd floor of our school experimental building was poisoned and troubled. He was sent to the hospital an hour ago. When he left, he did not lock the training room. We have a lot of valuables in the training room. Equipment, you will go to the doorman to wait for a while. I will let the key of the training room be delivered. People will arrive after about 20 minutes. You take the key to the experiment building, tidy up the training room, and then lock it, come to the door. The key to the training room is also temporarily kept by you. Teacher Zhang said instructed. Okay, I'll go to the doorman now. Li Dai agreed to come down, packed his things, and went to the doorman's duty room. 20 minutes to say yes, but Li Dai waited for more than half an hour in the guard's duty room, and the person who sent the key arrived. The person who sent the key was also sorry, and repeatedly explained that it was late because of traffic jams on the road. The daytime in winter is relatively short, and Qingqing is also a city on the east coast. Therefore, the sky is dark at this time. Li Dai had to walk towards the laboratory building under the dim street lights. It's really cold today. After a cold wind blew, Li Dai shrank his neck. In fact, this cold is more of a psychological effect. After all, it is now a winter vacation. There are no more students on campus. Li Dai walking alone on a large campus, the sense of openness around it will inevitably give people a cold illusion. Without students, the experiment building was dark and there was no light at all. Li Dai used his mobile phone as a flashlight and walked into the experiment building. The surrounding area was quiet, even making Li Dai feel a little eerie and horrible. Li Dai was hard to find. I turned on the light switch of the stairway corridor, but after pressing it, I found that the light was not on. Is the switch broken or the light broken? The property department hasn't come to repair it yet. Li Dai was helpless and could only continue to use the mobile phone for lighting and went straight to the third floor. The largest room in front is the training room. I heard people say that the training room was transformed into a meeting room. Li Dai approached the door of the training room and it didn't close. This is my first time to come to this training room. Where is the light switch? Li Dai used his mobile phone to face the wall, hoping to find the light switch. Oh, the day's cries suddenly sounded. What voice? Is anyone crying? Li Dai's heart tightened, and suddenly felt goosebumps rose. Oh. The crying voice sounded again. I heard that the school side of the physical education college used to be a mass grave. Shouldn't it be haunted here? Or was there a female college student in this house who was trapped by suicide and hanged himself? Li Dai's mind, several bridges of ghost stories emerged instantly. Don't be scared, don't scare yourself. Don't think about it. Damn, I already know that when I read online novels today, I should have read some of these supernatural works, and honestly look at the inspirational story of Long Live Coaching. How good. Li Dai tried hard not to think about those ghost stories, but his thoughts were completely out of control, and the plot of ghost stories continued to flash in his mind. Let's go the best way, lock the door and go. Although Li Dai thought so, her legs didn't listen, and even began to tremble. Lock the door, lock? What about the anti-theft lock? Oh, just hang it on the door. Li Dai took the anti-theft lock over and grabbed it in his hand. He had to lock the door. Don't lock the door. A woman's voice suddenly sounded. Li Dai turned her head to look in the direction of the voice and saw the figure of a girl. Female ghost. Li Dai didn't look closely at his eyes, and turned to fright and fled. Li Dai ran out of the experiment building, and came to the dim street lamp in front of the experiment building. After passing the panic, he gradually calmed down. Am I overreacting? Would that be an individual just now? But now that it's winter vacation, the students are all home for the Chinese New Year, how can there be someone else? Li Dai looked back with a guilty conscience. It was at this time that the ringtone of the mobile phone rang and a strange number appeared on the caller ID. Hello. Li Dai took the phone immediately until novel.me, Shaoli, right? I am old money in the training room on the third floor of the experiment building. The other party's voice is a little low, as if very weak. But this voice made Li Dai ecstatic, and was just scared, and now he heard the voice of living people, which made Li Dai feel like a sound of nature. Just listen to the other party and then say, I am hospitalized with food poisoning, and I still hang the bottle. I will definitely not be able to go back tonight. The key to the training room on the third floor, you should have already obtained it? I forgot to mention the matter. Yu Feifei has been training in our training room for the past 2 days. Yu Feifei? Same name as that world champion. Li Dai said. It's not her name, it's her, Lao Qian said. Yu Feifei? You mean the world champion swimming in Yu Feifei? The one who broke the world record? Yu Feifei in the swimming slam? Li Dai asked immediately. Yes, it's her. Old Money replied affirmatively. She is a world champion, how come she came to train with us? Li Dai asked with some disbelief. Don't forget that Yu Feifei is an athlete in our province, and her personnel relationship is still in the provincial sports hall. Lao Qian eased his breath, and then said, Yu Feifei came to our training here, which was arranged by the provincial sports team. It is to let her do physical training here, and we only arranged for her to come alone, and we also need to keep it secret, so few people know this matter. I think it is to prevent others from interfering with her training. After all, the world champion is somewhat privileged. And speaking of the training facilities, our university is not inferior to the provincial sports team. Yu Feifei is here. Li Dai suddenly remembered that the female ghost he had just seen looked a bit like Yu Feifei. Episode 38, Crying Nose World Champion. Mentions the name of Feifei, and it is almost unknown in the country. Yu Feifei started swimming at the age of 6. At the age of 10, he can compete with adult athletes on the court. He also won the 50-meter freestyle championship at the provincial games. He entered the national team at the age of 12 and won a series of national. The champion won 2 gold medals at the Asian Games the following year and 2 silver medals at the World Swimming Championships. At that time, he was hailed as a genius girl for swimming. At the age of 14, Yu Feifei won her first world championship in her life, the 200-meter personal medley world championship, and became the youngest swimming world champion in history. At the Olympics 2 years later, Yu Feifei in the 400-meter medley event, he won the Olympic title with a record-breaking world record. The next 200-meter personal medley event, Yu Feifei also won the Olympic record. And won the Best Newcomer award of the Lawrence Sports Award the following year. Became a world champion at the age of 14, broke the world record at the age of 16. Yu Feifei's sports career is full of legend. Yu Feifei himself is regarded as the hope of the Chinese swimming world in the next 10 years. However, in the past 2 years, Yu Feifei's performance has been very poor, or in the eyes of a state of decline. Last year's Swimming World Cup, she only won a 7th place in the 400-meter medley event he is best at. In the domestic competition, her best result is only a 3rd. For Yu Feifei's decline in performance, the national team said that Yu Feifei had an accidental sprain, which left a broken bone in her ankle, often painful, so it affected Yu Feifei's training state and game state. Li Dai has realized that the so-called female ghost he saw in the training room is probably Yu Feifei, but Li Dai can't figure out why Yu Feifei is crying alone in the dark training room. Li Dai made himself brave, and then returned to the experiment building again, and walked towards the training room, and this time, he had just walked up to the 3rd floor and saw that the lights of the training room had been turned on. Li Dai walked with his toes and approached the door of the training room, then stretched his head carefully to look inside. "I'm sorry, I just scared you just now." A voice sounded, and Li Dai looked down at that voice, and really saw Yu Feifei. "Yu Feifei, it's really Yu Feifei. It seems to be fatter than TV. It's probably thicker in winter clothes. This is a world champion. For the first time I saw a real person." Li Dai couldn't help but feel excited. He even wanted to take a picture with Yu Feifei. But thinking of Yu Feifei's coming to the body for confidential training, Li Dai still dispelled the idea. Li Dai walked into the training room and found that there was really only Yu Feifei in the training room. Thinking of his own counseling, Li Dai smiled embarrassingly and then said, "Hello, I am Li Dai, yes, the sports assistant coach. I happen to be on duty today. Teacher Qian suddenly fell ill and was hospitalized. I came to replace him. I didn't know that you were here, and there was no light here. I thought there was no one here." Yu Feifei looked at this young man who was a few years younger than him. If Li Dai did not introduce himself, Yu Feifei might think that Li Dai was still a college student. Li Dai is also looking at Yu Feifei. Compared with the young girl in the Olympics a few years ago, Yu Feifei did grow up with some acne on her face, and Yu Feifei's eyes were red and looked like I just cried. "Did you cry just now?" Li Dai asked tentatively. "No, I didn't cry." Yu Feifei denied it. "Did you accidentally get injured during training? Do you want to see a doctor?" Li Dai then asked. He was worried that Yu Feifei was injured because of training. Yu Feifei is a world champion after all. If Li was injured here because of training, then Li Dai would certainly be inseparable. Li Dai finally found such a job, but did not want to lose his job because of this kind of thing. "I'm fine, not injured." Yu Feifei replied immediately. "Is that an old wounded? Do you want to see a doctor?" Li Dai then asked. He guessed that if Yu Feifei's old injury relapsed here, he would have to walk around. After all, he was just a hired coach, and the school said he would be fired. Yu Feifei was a little angry when she heard it. She widened her eyes and rushed a lot. "Are you looking forward to my injury?" "I don't, really not." Li Dai felt that the atmosphere was a bit wrong. He wanted to revitalize the atmosphere, so he said, "You are a world champion, and the people of the whole country want you to be fat and healthy." However, what Li Dai did not expect was that when he heard the words white and fat, Yu Feifei burst into tears without covering his face. "Woo woo. I know I am fat." Yu reading www.yuyukansha.com. "I know that I have gained 14 pounds a year, woo. I have been working hard to lose weight. I do high-intensity exercise every day. I do ain't dare to eat, oh, but I did ain't lose weight. What can I do? Though according of them based of my effort according to my needs, but I didn't lose weight, what would I do? A world champion, breaking the world record again, woo." Yu Feifei's mood seemed to collapse suddenly halfway, crying more and more. Li Dayton was a little overwhelmed. He didn't expect a world champion to cry like a child who was wronged. Fat 14 pounds? Get kicked out of the national team? Li Dai will associate Feifei's words and phrases, probably guessing what happened. Athletes must strictly control their weight, especially for swimming. Athletes need to overcome the resistance of water and increase their own buoyancy. A weight gain of 14 pounds is disastrous for swimmers. The increase in body weight caused by weight gain will increase the resistance encountered by athletes in the water. At the same time, weight gain will reduce the buoyancy of the athletes themselves, making the athletes enduring the game. It takes more physical strength to keep yourself floating on the water, and the corresponding physical strength used to move forward will be reduced. It was reported in the news that Feifei's performance was reduced because of injuries. Now it seems that things do not seem to be as reported in the news. The real reason for Feifei's performance decline is a large increase in body weight. The association should be concealed in this regard. What happened to being expelled from the national team? Is it really serious enough? Li Dai's thoughts rolled, and the next moment he suddenly remembered, Feifei's situation is not just suitable for weight loss exercises. Episode 39, to do one weight loss exercise. Li Dai has never used it since he got the weight loss exercise. The main reason is that he can't find the object to use. After all, the weight loss exercise only has an effect on professional athletes. The use conditions of this are too harsh. Under normal circumstances, if an athlete can maintain strict self-discipline, their weight will not change much. Moreover, Li Dai currently mainly trains sprinters. The body fat rate of sprinters is generally low. Long meat is a luxury for them. Losing weight is even more of a miss to them. And today, Li Dai finally found an opportunity to verify the effect of weight loss exercises. Thinking of this, Li Dai said, "Don't cry, do you want to lose weight? I have a way." Hearing that Li Dai had a way to lose weight, Feifei seemed to have gotten a spell, stopped crying, and stared straight at Li Dai. Li Daiqing cleared his throat and said, "My family has an ancestral weight loss exercise, oh no. It is Wu Qin Shi. You should know Wu Qin Shi, the fitness method created by Shintu Huatua, is very effective for weight loss. It is definitely seeing results in 1 day, thinness in 3 days, and great changes in 10 days. Feifei's face immediately showed a distrustful expression. Li Dai said it was too exaggerated. Although Feifei was young, she would not believe any ancestral five-bird show. Li Dai is old and blushing, and he also feels that some of his flickers are too excessive. This statement is afraid that even elementary school students can't be deceived. Just listen to his rather embarrassing addition. "Well, not a 5-player play, but weight loss is really effective, do you want to try it?" Feifei shook his head decisively, and then said politely, "Thank you for your kindness, but you see that it is dark now, and I should go back and finish my meal." Li Dai finally found an opportunity to verify the effect of weight loss exercises. Where would he easily miss it? He reached out to stop Feifei and said sincerely, "You try it first, it won't delay you much time, you can't when it comes to weight loss, you don't have any losses. At most, you are wasting more than 10 minutes, but what if it really works? If you can lose weight, you can get back to the original state. If you change to a slightly older person, you might think of Li Dai as selling weight loss pills, but Feifei is still too young, and usually spends most of his time on training, and has no social experience." In this way, after hesitating for a few seconds, I really agreed. Li Dai was overjoyed, and he finally found an opportunity to verify the effect of weight loss exercises. Let's detect the level of the world champion first. Li Dai will add Feifei's name to the training list, and use a detection against her. Detection target, professional athletes. Professional project, medley 200 meters, professional ability, 643, talent, S. 400 meters medley, professional ability, 677, talent S dash. Medley 200 m, professional ability, 655, talent S dash. 50 meters freestyle, professional ability, 532, talent A. 100 meters freestyle, professional ability, 541, talent A. 100 meters backstroke, professional ability 502, talent A. 100 meters breaststroke, professional ability 479, talent B. 100 meters butterfly swimming, professional ability 582, talent A. 200 meters butterfly swimming, professional ability 565, talent A. This is a big string. Is this a world champion athlete, so comprehensive? But think about it, medley is originally composed of freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly. As a world champion of medley, you must be proficient in these 4 swimming style. Li Dai looked at the detection results, not only including Feifei's main medley, but also including freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly strokes. In addition to breaststroke is a B-level talent, all other swimming events are A-level talent, and medley to S-level talent. The S-class talent has the ability to break the world record, and Feifei is really the world record holder of the women's 400-meter medley. The professional ability value of 677 is worthy of being a world champion class athlete. Those I usually train, there is no one-level athlete with a professional ability value of 200. This gap is too large. Li Dai sighed in his heart. The professional ability value of more than 600 is not enough to become a world champion. Perhaps it is the level of medals in China, and even no gold medals. The sound of the system sounded at this time. Just listen to the system and then say, under normal circumstances, compare the world champion of water must have a professional ability value of more than 700. In some strong competitive projects, the professional ability value of more than 800 is required to win the world championship. Why is Yu Feifei only 677 professional value? He is the world record holder in the 400 meters medley, Li Dai asked. This is caused by the decline in the level of competition. Since she can break the world record, her professional ability at the peak must be above 900. It seems that her status has really declined very much. It has fallen by 4 compared with the peak. There is one more fraction. The system explained. After listening to the systematic explanation, Li Dayton immediately felt very sympathetic to Feifei. Once the proud man, the person who stood at the pinnacle of the world is now hard to get even a national champion, not to mention Feifei is only 18 or 9 years old. This kind of ups and downs is really not something that this young man can bear. Yu reading www.yuyukansha.com. I hope the effect of this weight loss exercise is really very effective and can help her return to the peak. Li Dai sighed lightly. Do it as I do, 1 2 3 4, 2 2 3 4, 3 2 3 4, 4 2 3 4. Li Dai yelled his own horn while doing his actions. Yu Feifei stood opposite Li Dai and followed Li Dai's movements, learning in a similar way. In fact, Li Dai is also now learning and selling. He has taught others weight loss exercises before, so it's the first practice. Fortunately, the exercise of weight loss exercises is very simple. For Li Dai, a person with developed limbs, it's not difficult to practice it according to the picture, at least it is enough to fool Yu Feifei who is also a beginner. How do I think this is a bit like the radio gymnastics I did when I was a kid? While Yu Feifei followed Li Dai's movements, she gradually felt something wrong in her heart. She felt like she was deceived by Li Dai. Just as Yu Feifei was hesitating whether to stop, a warm feeling emerged from Yu Feifei's body. This kind of feeling was very strange, just like in the cold winter morning, the sun shines through the window and shines on the bedwriter. The warm sunlight gradually drenched the quilt, exuding a smell of sunlight, which penetrated into the nose. More like a hypnotic agent, so that people who originally wanted to be sober once again, there was a sense of distress. This feeling? It's warm. I have never had this kind of warmth in training. Yu Feifei has been a sportsman for more than 10 years and has experienced more than 10 years of training, but the feeling that training brings to him has always been it is fatigue, exhaustion, and even prostration pain, which has never felt so warm. Does this weight loss exercise really work? Yu Feifei's mind began to shake.